Thank you again for joining us this morning for the Circular Economy Grand Challenge information session. Really appreciate you all jumping on. This session will also be recorded, so there will be a copy of this available on the website probably early next week. Okay. So my name is Taylor Fury. I'm the coordinator of pre-startup programs here at I2N, and on the team for the Grand Challenge as well is Nick Stevens, the manager of pre-startup programs at I2N. And so throughout the course of the challenge over the next few months, you'll be interacting with both of us a lot, I'm sure. Before we begin, I would just like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which I am hosting from today at the Q Building, the Awabakal and the Worimi people. I pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging, and acknowledge any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people here with us today. Thank you so much for joining. So how today will work is I'm just going to go through a in-depth overview of what the Grand Challenge looks like. And then at the very end of today's information session, there will be the chance for you to ask some questions. So if you do have a question, feel free to start putting them in the chat as you go, but there will also be quite a lot of information. So if you want to wait till the end to see if it's already answered, that's completely fine too. We also will be putting a link to the website into the chat. So if you want to have a quick look through the FAQs while I'm talking, feel free to do that as well. So what is a Grand Challenge? That's a great question. So the Grand Challenge is an annual initiative at the University of Newcastle. We did one last year, which was on net zero, so you might have heard about it. This year we are looking at the circular economy. But what is a Grand Challenge? What do you do with that? What does that mean? How do you get involved? So a Grand Challenge is where you form a team, so either with people that you already know that you think you would work really well with, or you can meet some new people through our series of events where you create a team of multidisciplinary people. You then have some support from us and from events where you can come up with a solution to a particular problem. And we will get to what that problem statement is, but you would come up with what you think would be a really great way to solve it. You would explain your solution, you would submit an application, and then the best teams will be awarded some funding. With that funding, you then go on for the next 6 months to be able to test and develop that idea to see whether it works, to see whether you were able to prove your hypotheses correct, and see if you could take it even further. So, like I mentioned, this year we are focusing on the circular economy. So what is the circular economy? A circular economy is a new way of thinking about how we make and use things. Instead of the traditional take, make, dispose model, it focuses on reducing waste and pollution, keeping products and materials in use for longer, and regenerating natural systems. This means that we're designing for reuse, repair, recycling, and refurbishment, creating closed-loop systems that are better for people, business, and the planet. At the University of Newcastle, we're embedding these principles into our own operations as part of our commitment to net zero by 2025. But we know real impact comes from working together. That's why we're challenging you to help drive this shift, build transparency, accountability, and a more sustainable economy. Now, I totally understand that that probably isn't super easy for you to now be like, great, I can solve that. But throughout the series of the challenge, there will be many chances for you to engage with resources, to engage with experts in the circular economy field, and to engage with us to help you be able to develop a solution that you feel confident in. So what is our challenge statement? This is our challenge statement just here. How might we assist key stakeholders, such as suppliers, partners, and consumers, transition to circular economy practices to minimize waste and maximize resource efficiency and to achieve net zero goals? That's a very big statement. Completely understand. So what that really means is how can we support the people and the businesses we work with to adopt circular economy practices that reduce waste, use fewer resources, and help us reach net zero? That means rethinking how products are made. It might be a supplier might switch from single-use packaging to reusable containers. Maybe a company might design a product that's easy to repair instead of being thrown away. Or maybe it's creating a product as a service model, for example, leasing equipment rather than selling it outright, so the company remains responsible for repairs, upgrades, and end-of-life recycling. Those are just a few examples. This statement is also available on the website, and it'll come up in every event that we do, so you'll be consistently reminded of what you're actually solving. Who is it for? Great question. So the Grand Challenge is open to University of Newcastle students, staff, alumni, and community members. Each team must be formed of a minimum of 2 people and a maximum of 5 people. Every team member must be based in Australia. And Like I mentioned, community members are welcome. However, most team members should be University of Newcastle affiliates. And again, an affiliate is a student, staff, or alumni. So how to get involved. This is the most exciting part, I think, anyway, is all the events leading up to it. So obviously today, Wednesday, the 11th of June, we have the information session. We have quite a long time between now and the very first event. And the reason for that is for you to be able to look on the website, to really understand what it is that you're going to be solving so that you have some real insight before you head into the expert panel sessions. You can maybe start looking at who you might want on your team. You can start looking at stakeholders. You can start thinking about all of the different ways that you would like to get involved. So the information session today. Our next event is on Tuesday, the 29th of July, and it's our expert panel session. The expert panel session will involve exactly what it sounds like, a panel of experts in the circular economy field. They'll be able to tell us all different things. They'll be able to tell us some facts about the circular economy. They'll be able to tell us some of the problems that are occurring that are inhibiting the way that we can create a circular economy. They'll be able to tell us the different ways that people are currently innovating in that space, what's worked, maybe what hasn't worked and why it hasn't worked, so that you can get some insight. And that'll be a really great chance for you to meet other people, but also be able to ask questions of people who will hopefully know the answers. Following that, Tuesday, the 12th of August, we have our team formation session. Now, as mentioned, if you already have a team or you already know of other people who you would like to form a team with, that's completely fine. You don't have to come to the team formation session. This is mainly there for all of those people who want to get involved, but don't know anyone else who might want to be in the challenge or who just want to meet some new people. So this is a really great chance to come along, to meet other people, to hear some ideas that other people already have. Maybe you think, I'm not really sure if I want to be involved yet, but if I hear a really great idea and I feel like I might have something to offer, that I can join a team then. So that's a really great opportunity. Then after that, we have our first round submissions. So if you have engaged in the Grand Challenge previously, you would know that how it usually works is we would have a series of events and then you would submit your application and then we would announce some winners. This year, we've done it a little bit differently. And so there's going to be 2 rounds of submissions. I think that's a great opportunity. It means that you get to submit it and then you get to work on it again and hopefully submit an even better submission. So you'll submit once, you can submit as many times as you like. And then once you have done that, we will select 10 of the best teams, 10 of the top teams with their submissions. They will then get to go into the second part of the challenge. The second part of the challenge is then a lot more, I don't want to say intense, but for lack of a better word, let's go intense. So then we'll head into the stakeholder workshop. Basically what that means is you'll come along with your idea, you'll come along with your team, and we'll really look at who your customers are, who your stakeholders are, and how you would be able to engage with them to be able to make this idea a reality. Following that, on Thursday, the 25th of September, you would have your pitch workshop. So a pitch workshop is exactly what it sounds like. It's where we teach you all the best ways to be able to communicate your idea and pitch it effectively, because the final submission is a video submission. So on the Wednesday, the 8th of October, those 10 teams will then submit their final proposals. It'll be a video. And then we'll have an award night, same as last year on the 21st of October. Everyone is invited. Anyone who submitted an application in the first round is welcome to come along and to see the ideas that have come out of it. And at that award night, that's when we'll obviously announce the 3 winners of the grant funding. So before that, like I mentioned, there is quite a bit of time between now and the very first event. We do have some consultation sessions. These are available throughout the entire challenge, not just until the first event. But if you get to the end of this information session, you have a look through the website and you think, this seems like something I would like to be involved in, but I just have some more questions, or I just want to understand a little bit more how you could be involved. This is just a 15-minute session with myself or Nick to be able to talk through that, to answer any questions that you have. So I really encourage you to take advantage of that if you have an idea or you're a little bit on the fence about joining. So when it comes to your application, your very first application, what's required? What do you need to tell us in order to be in those top 10 that come out into the second phase? So it'll be a 2-page application. It'll be submitted via the website. And in that application, you're going to outline your idea, which will address the challenge statement. So you'll talk about who your team members are, why they would be a really great fit to be solving this particular problem. You're going to talk about the description of your solution and how you would use the funding. If you were awarded the $10,000 at the end, what would you do with that to make this a reality and to also test that it works and validate it? So those applications, like I mentioned, are due on August 28th at 5 p.m. Like I mentioned, you would submit them via a link on the website. You would have to follow the rules of engagement, which are found in the T's and C's. But this year we've changed it and a team can submit as many applications as you like. So as last year, you had to pick your best idea and submit that and really hope that that was the one that was the winner. This year, if you have a few different ideas or a few different variations of the same idea, you're welcome to submit into that first round submissions as many times as you like, which is really, really great. So the assessment criteria, it's 4 points. Just these 4 points. This is what you'll be marked on by your judges. It's the clarity of the problem. This is basically how well are you understanding the problem that you are solving? Who are your stakeholders? Who are you solving the problem for? Why is it a problem for them? Then you're obviously going to talk about your solution. What have you decided on is the best fit for this? And how would that solution be the best for those customers that you've identified? What is your action plan? With the funding and beyond that, if you have the funding, what would you do with it? What are you going to spend it on? How are you going to test it and validate it? And then if you test and validate that it works, what happens after that? And then, like I mentioned, who is your team? That's what you're also going to be marked on. How well can you explain the skill set of the people on your team? And this is why it is really great if you can create a team that is interdisciplinary. So people that you might not know, people who don't work on the same things that you do or have the same strengths, be really, really great and a great advantage. So what's in it for you? That's a really great question, and I'm sure the one that you all care about is what do you get out of this? So this one, an awesome series of events where you can meet some really interesting people. 2, the opportunity to work on a project that shifts the dial on circular economy. That's what's really great about this, is that you can feel like you're making a real difference by working on something that could definitely make a change. Funding for 3 teams of up to $10,000 each. So like I mentioned, the top 3 teams are going to receive $10,000 to be able to test it and validate their idea. We also have 3 prizes. That's separate to the 3 grants. And so those 3 prizes, no strings attached, just cash for doing a really, really great job. And then 6 months of support to develop and deploy your idea through the I2N. So you'll have the support of myself and Nick, the rest of the I2N team, and anyone that we can connect you with that would be beneficial for you to be able to take your idea further. That's everything from me. That's exactly what we have in store for the challenge at the moment. Does anyone have any questions? I'm going to have a look in the chat. If you have any questions, please send it through. Hey Taylor, just wanting to know more about I2N. What is it and how does I2N work? Great question, Ned. Thanks for sending that through. So I2N is the entrepreneurship hub at the University of Newcastle. We are located in the Q building and we assist everybody from university students to 10-time founders to be able to develop their ideas. If they have a business idea, to be able to scale it. We help them get connections to customers, connections to investors, and we also help with enterprise skill development. So we're here to help anyone who is wanting to just learn more about innovating and problem solving. And we also obviously run some university courses as well for our undergrad students. Great question, Ned. Does anyone else have a question in the chat? Just wait a little bit. If we don't, that's good. That means that I did a good job at trying to answer them all. So, oh, great question. Hi, Rick. Can you tell us a bit more about how things went last year? Sure. So the Grand Challenge last year was around net zero. Last year we had a lot more events than we did this year, and so there was a lot of opportunities for people to come along. We had a lot of applications, which was really great, and then we had the award ceremony at the end. Now, the people who won those 3 grants are still currently in the phase of developing their solutions and validating them, and then once they have done that, they'll submit a report to us, and we'll be able to make some more knowledge available about what they were up to, what they were able to achieve, what they were able to prove right or wrong from the hypotheses. But last year was a really great Grand Challenge. This year, we did decide to change it up a little bit, just because we wanted to have a section of the challenge that was really nurturing to the teams. And so you didn't feel like you were super alone in that process and that you were able to submit an idea and then feel like you had some support around that before any money was awarded. Great question. Thanks, Rick. Okay. While we're waiting for any more questions, just in summary, The Grand Challenge has officially begun today with the information session, so thank you so much for joining us. And it'll continue all the way until October. So our very first event will be the expert panel session at the end of July. That is a really great opportunity for you to meet experts in the field and to ask questions around the circular economy. Following that, we'll also have the team formation session for you to be able to meet other people and form a team. This is a really great opportunity, even if you already have a team. You never know who is going to be in that room, who might be a really great asset to have to your team. So I would really encourage you to come, even if you've already formed one. Then we'll have the first round of submissions, which is just a 2-page application. After that, we'll select 10 finalist teams. They'll then head into a validation stakeholder workshop, a pitch workshop. They'll submit their video submission, and then we'll select the 3 top teams for the grant funding and some prizes awarded at the end. We have a question here. Do most people do their work to contribute to their uni work, or does it tend to be entirely separate and voluntary? That's a really awesome question. Thank you, Rick, for bringing that up. It's honestly a bit of both. So there are a lot of students who are either doing something in a particular course that is around, last year it was around net zero, who wanted to be involved because it was already something they were working on. A lot of university students tend to do this as well, just to meet other people in that field if it's something that they're interested in, especially 3rd and 4th year students trying to build out those networks and connections. Sometimes we have PhD students who like to work on it because they obviously are doing something in that field for their PhD. But a lot of the time it tends to be outside, like community members, so stakeholders or industry who are already working on something or are interested in that particular area and want to utilize students at the university. They want to speak to more staff. They want to have connections at the university. So it's honestly all of the above. And that's why the team formation session is really great, because we noticed last year that at the team formation session, it did really facilitate the ability to have teams that had people from all of those different areas, like I mentioned. What backgrounds do most of the people come from? Example, what degree? That's a great question, and I don't know the answer to that. It's not something that we usually ask around what their degree is, but obviously a lot of the students tend to be something in like business or sometimes it's environmental science and things like that, but it's all different degrees, really. Thank you for those questions, Rick. Does anyone else have a question? Like I mentioned, we do have the website. It is uongrandchallenge.com. So you can head there at any time between now and the end of the challenge. That'll be consistently updated. So if you look at it now, I'd still encourage you to keep looking at it every few weeks or so. We will update it with the recordings from this event. We'll update it with any resources that we get from experts in the field. And it'll also have the link to be able to set up some consultations with us. Who are the experts? Good question. Thanks, Rick. The experts currently we have not locked in. We are having conversations with quite a few, just so we can find the best array of them, so that we have lots of different perspectives on that panel. Ned, can I complete the Grand Challenge as part of my university assignments? It's a good question. You could, if you have an assignment that is very similar to what the topic is asking you. However, it wouldn't be any credit or anything given by being a part of the Grand Challenge. Evan, when will the T's and C's be uploaded to the website? Really great question. It's the very last thing that we're doing right now, because it's something that we obviously really need to make sure is perfect. So by the start of next week, that'll be uploaded. So by the time that this recording is up on the website, the T's and C's will also be up to date. Perfect. Thank you. Great. If there isn't any other questions, we can wrap it up there. But like I said, you can head to the website at any time. You can schedule a meeting with myself or Nick, and you would have also got a reminder email today. So feel free at any time to reply to that email if you want to email us directly. Otherwise, we hope that you are going to get involved in the Grand Challenge. It's a really great opportunity, and we're really excited to have you a part of it. Thank you so much for joining today. Bye.